shouldn't my modifier be 4?
It should be +3 because +3 is the max.
Okay.
No.
Things are funny. Don't worry about it.
You and I gotta switch to push top.
Okay.
All right. Greetings, brethren, sistren, and otherin. Welcome back for another exciting episode of Pilate's Voyage on No Theoretical Bias. Thank you so much again for being here. We deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you. All right, when last we met, you can go back and watch the other ones, but basically, the party is taking their leave of the horse people. There are many cheers and hugs and heartfelt goodbyes, and Magda, the horsefolk shaman, gives you each an extra little hug and said, "There is no such thing as goodbye. There is only until we meet again." So everyone had received little gifts and little love notes and whatnot from everybody. So you are all cheered that you are part of a community and sad that you must take your leave. Anybody who didn't get anything extra spiffy and special, you were all gifted with these small metal boxes. Okay, they fit together, top on bottom. They're full of sand. Inside the sand is a small chip of one of the ever-burning trees. Okay, if you keep this thing relatively safe at all, you will never have to worry about lighting a fire again. This will ignite, kindling pressed up against it. Also, they say keep it in the sand when it's not in use, otherwise the box gets too hot, etc.
So you could call it a tinder box.
Well, it's actually an ember box, if you want to be completely technical. But yes, your ember boxes, your little magical ember boxes. You're so cool.
So they handed us shiny metal boxes.
Yes.
I'll hold on to them. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Glow. And no, one of them goes with me.
Yes, and they are vaguely warm to the touch, though they're sized such that it radiates heat fairly evenly and won't set anything on fire in your backpack.
Well, Shadow is allowed to hold on to Micah's.
Cool. So for the trip back, you've got a couple of options. If you want to completely avoid East Haven, the scouts and trackers of the horsefolk tell you a vaguely circuitous route that will take you through the hills here, avoiding the bigger stands of ever-burning trees, which also keeps you out of most of the smoke. So you'll get out. You're still going to smell like you've been standing downwind of a large bonfire, but that will fade sooner rather than later. However, when it takes you out of the space, it's going to be down over here. So you're not heading directly toward East Haven. You have to kind of take a circuitous route there. So the big question, are you going to be going to East Haven? Your food and water has been topped off. And the quartermasters and thinkers among you think you could probably make it back, probably make it out to Mengel's factory, though maybe not back easily. So where are you headed? What are you doing? And we can start rolling some travel trackless waste.
Well, team, of course. I would be in favor of, at this point, potentially avoiding East Haven. I know it's been a decent amount of time since we've went and seen the locals, and I'm sure that the locals are starting to get impatient waiting for us to bring something back from the Sea of Dust. I prefer to avoid encounters with them as much as possible, but I'm open to suggestions.
I vote that we do head back to East Haven. I believe a few of us have some projects that we were commissioning to have done. I think Sumax said she had some gauntlets, and I believe I had a saddle that was being commissioned.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Take into account traveling to some of the.
I forgot you were getting a saddle made for Sidewinder. I completely forgot. Sorry.
It's the little things that mean.
Well, there is a good chance we could potentially get in and then out again without being caught. Would make it kind of covert. We wouldn't be able to dawdle for too long, but there's a possibility. Just bring some risk. But what's a good travel without some risk? I'm sure all of them would help with potentially confronting Mangle. So,
Owen,
Mangle has
how-
one friend, and I side-eye Dahlia there. He may have more, and we can't tell them apart.
Owen, would
Yes.
we be able to utilize Shadow's hoarding hidey hole that I have under the city, since East Haven is my home spot? Be able to sneak in undetected?
Do you have as part of it a bolt hole, like a way to a secret way out, or is it just a hidey hole?
I imagine Shadow would have a secret way in and out, given the Wayfinder.
Gotcha.
I'm always finding secret doors.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay. I'm gonna answer that question two ways. Yes, you have a secret way in and out of East Haven. Yes, you think you could get there undetected by yourself. Yes, you think you could stay there for a reasonable length of time undetected by yourself. It's not a very sizable space, if memory serves. And if you let everybody else use it, you're going to have to tell these four yabos a secret that maybe you didn't want everybody to know. You think you might be able to wedge everybody in sideways for 15 minutes if you breathe alternately. But at that point, it is a passageway. It's not a place to hide. Did that answer your question?
Yes. I'm gonna nudge either Sumac or Sidewinder to translate for me here. I could go in by myself and get a couple of things and then come back out. But I can't take you all with me.
Okay.
You're all too big.
You are all gifted with Sidewinder's interpretation of what Shadow would sound like. It's about what you'd expect. Vaguely pleasant, vaguely pleasant, a little twittery, some trills and fills here and there. It's nice. So you don't have to worry about that as long as you're within eye shot of Sidewinder, you can communicate directly.
We could always send instead of just Shadow, just one or two people and everything. Like if Shadow, myself, and Sumac all go, we all have ways to go relatively undetected depending on what time of day it is.
I am good at hiding,
Sure.
not in the holes of humans.
Okay.
But I
So
think the fewer people we send in, the better.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you are planning on heading in the general direction of East Haven. You just want to avoid notice prior to getting there, and are planning what to do when you get there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do a travel trackless waste just to get you there. Again, we're looking for since you're not on the same route that you took to get here, we're going to need a quartermaster, a trailblazer, and a scout. These are all cool rolls. The better you roll, the better it is for everybody. And you're currently anticipating about a 2-day trip.
Okay.
Who volunteers?
I will do one of them.
Which one?
Last time I'll quartermaster.
Awesome.
I can
Take
scout
care of
again.
the food.
I think that went really well the last time I did it. I should scout again.
Hee. And who's going to be the trailblazer?
That can be me.
Awesome. Okay, so it's going to take about 2 days. Trailblazer, go ahead and give me a cool roll, please.
And trail. Okay. Pull up the sheet.
Da, 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 da. On the road again. Beat. Okay. Takes about as much time as you'd expect. You don't get lost. Awesome. And quartermaster, go ahead and give me a roll. And again,
Good enough.
textbook. Anybody who does eat and drink, please burn 2 uses of rations and 2 uses of water. And finally, our scout.
Where is the ration?
Oh, beautiful. Okay. So, Shadow, your call. Did you want to completely avoid any issues, or did you want to spot a potential issue that you got the group around?
I probably spotted something
Okay. So you were scouting
well in
around.
advance.
I'm sorry, what?
Well in advance, and I definitely told at least one person.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if Shadow would warn someone who could understand them right away, because I probably saw something shiny and was like, that sets off my danger sense, but it's shiny.
Yes.
So we should walk towards it.
Yes. Okay, so you were scouting around. Your trailblazer, Sumac, had told you, I think there's like a good place over here, someplace to out of the wind and out of the smoke, and maybe there's a tiny little trickle of water, something. It's a good camp spot. So you're heading there. The sun was lowering in the sky when you spotted some people already there. Okay, there were 4 of them, and again, a little bit off the beaten path, so that's fairly unusual. You did get a good look at them, though, as you got the group around. Basically, you told them they went around the long way, and you kept an eye on them to make sure you weren't noticed. Okay, so there's 4 of them, 4 mannish type figures, head, 2 arms, 2 legs. But they set your nose to twitching a little bit, because first of all, you thought they were all wearing masks, like, Dread Pirate Robert masks. And then you notice the ears, and they have a tendency, if they're sitting still, to try to blend into their background and their surroundings. Fairly dust-colored clothing, large bushy tails, ringed, fairly small, probably about your size, not like big and hulking. Snouted, short snouts. You saw some sharp teeth in the little light of the campfire. Delicate little hands with claws. And they were passing things around and admiring them at the campfire. Ooh, oh. And I don't know that you understood their language, but it was like, check this out, guys. Ooh, isn't this pretty? And it's catching the light, and it's just like stabbing you in the eyes with how so pretty. Okay.
Shadow's gonna lean over to Revan and let out
Coon people!
and let out a couple little whistles and clicks and point towards the campfire and nod and then just keep going.
So keep going. So you're
Observation question.
like,
Have I eaten one of these before?
Please say yes.
Give me a recall roll.
you have, you've run afoul of these before, actually. Your,
Hey, it's a valid
The-
question.
it is. You run afoul of them. They're called Arathcone. Arathkone. That's their name for themselves. The Arathcone. The Arathcone, most people call them a nuisance.
Raccoon people!
Yes. The big question is always, are they very smart animals? Are they twisted people? It doesn't matter. They're furry, they're furtive. The masked ones, polite people call them the masked ones. They have an uncanny ability to sense treasure. They can kind of sort of sniff it out. They can smell treasures or shiny, pretty things, which is the same thing if you think about it. And they like rich food. What you would know, Sumac, is they have been relatively friendly in the past if approached correctly. So they're not known to be, fire crossbows first, ask questions later.
Okay.
So
Not like a certain group of friends of ours.
correct. So what do you do?
Yeah.
Sidewinder and I are gonna find a nice desert outcropping to go blend into, because snake plus furry animal may be scary.
Okay, give me a hot roll there, Revan.
Can I proper drop Shadow's going with him?
Oh, well, let's just say that worked. They're startled and you get some jumps, okay? And by jumps, I mean the ones facing you jump about 2 feet straight up in the air. The ones not facing you have jumped over them and are behind them, okay? So you've got 4 sets of beady eyes and sniffing noses, but nobody's reaching for weapons just yet.
Shadow's gonna peek their head out and whistle at them and doo-doo!
Approach, travelers, that we may see you.
Toddling right on up.
All right.
How
Anybody-
close are you and I?
Anybody hanging back?
I think Sidewinder and I are going to sit motionless and therefore basically invisible for a little bit to see how things go.
Gotcha.
Micah's gonna walk up with them, so that they don't trip, using their light as a kind of light source. Is it day or is it nighttime?
It is trending toward nightfall. It's going to be dark soon.
Okay, then yeah, Micah's gonna follow behind them.
Okay. Revan, you have your big green muscle mama backing you up. So, and Arcthor, what are you doing?
Well, once I get a good look at them, despite the fact that they're adorable, they do seem to be on the animalistic side, and they look like they admire shiny things very, very much. So based off of past experience, I would like to double check to make sure my knife is still on me, and then also batten down the hatches to make sure my, especially, not even valuables, but my shiny objects are
Yeah.
secured and accounted for this encounter.
Arcthor, you've spent several months, if not years, dedicated to the idea that you're the shiniest thing for 7 counties. So yes, you know, everyone's the Araxon are like, yeah, oh, hi. Come to the masked ones. Oh, shiny one. Oh, sit right here beside me.
Shadow's gonna join them with the grabby motion.
So, the
Flattering, indeed.
they get you all around. Again, they pass out these little. These are old. These are actually acorns. These are like, honest to God, acorn cups. Old, lacquered to within an inch of their life. They even kept the little caps so you can like tighten them down. Anyway, they pass around the little acorn cups and they put a couple drops of water in each, and they hand each of you. It's probably some sort of meal, like a meal cake, really, really finely ground. Maybe a touch of honey in there someplace. It's basically a wafer, somewhere between a wafer and a cracker, but you pass it all around. And now you're guests. So they scooch over a little bit. One of them actually whistles a little bit to you, Shadow. It's the best most people can do. It's a polite little, I see you. It's the auditory equivalent of them handing you a card that says, I don't speak English, but hi, kind of a thing. So it's unusual. So
I correct them.
yeah. So
I demonstrate a few times.
Correct
Oh,
their
okay.
grammar.
So for the next 20 minutes, the two of them are just whistling at each other and getting closer and closer. Then you're doing it in a 2-part harmony, and then a third one joins in with some nostril singing. It's amazing. Okay, so the somewhat leader, the biggest one, basically, she introduces herself as Jake, spelled Q-U, but it's pronounced Jake. And she invites you all to sit. Yes, it's going to be a cold night, rubbing her little hands together. It's going to be a cold night. We have to watch out for each other. Sumac, can you give me a sharp roll, please?
Oh, great. Look at those.
Yes, they are
Sharp
very appreciative of that.
Do I get... No, it's just a straight sharp roll, right?
Correct.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. If it is seeing something or being aware of it, Sidewinder has the heat pit things, and I was looking at what companion trained to do type thing.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll. I'll take that into account.
I just love the panicked expression on Urkthor's face right now.
Yeah.
I like my stuff.
Everybody's looking at you like your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, cake, all the goodness.
No!
Okay. So Mark,
If one of you takes my stuff, I get it back eventually.
Oh my god!
No people take my stuff.
So, Sumac, you're quite startled when there is a very polite cough from a reasonable distance away from you, and that cool hip and groovy camouflage ability that you and your snake have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unique. So you realize you're sitting about 20 feet away from a seated
Somebody
masked
else.
one who
Yeah.
says, hi. Didn't mean to startle you. But you're with them, right?
Yes. I
Oh,
thought
good.
fuzzy animals
Maybe we
might
could,
not like seeing snakes out of the dark.
does your friend bite?
Not unless provoked.
Would you care to make introductions?
That's Sidewinder.
I
I'm
am
called
Log-
Sumac.
I am Laga, sometimes called Laga the Silent.
I can see why.
Okay. So Laga comes up and puts his little hand to near Sidewinder's face, so Sidewinder can get a good scent on him. Sidewinder tells you he smells more like hunter than prey. And that's fairly high praise from Sidewinder. So
There's respect to that.
Laga says if you wouldn't mind joining us, the night gets cold, especially for some. And if you're amenable, escort you to the fire.
I'll go.
The others are a little concerned by the snake, but Sidewinder, in getting comfortable, accidentally fluffs one of his wings. Do it again. Do it again. Could you ask me to do it again? That was beautiful.
Oh no, they're rainbow colored.
Yes. Oh, they're prismatic. They're glorious. Oh my gosh.
They brought the shiniest thing.
Oh yeah. No. They're like, yeah. Shiny guy over here. Can you do that again? All right. So you were a big hit with the masked folk, the Arath Cone. So where you headed? If you don't mind our asking.
Oh, we're headed towards East Haven. Nearest town in this direction. Got a little bit off the beaten track, but we're working on our way back. Shouldn't be too long. Maybe a day's travel from here now, right? Right?
Yeah, they wouldn't let us in.
That's a bummer.
The philosopher said, the sins of the father visited onto the child. And my dad ripped off a lot of stuff last time he was here, so yeah. It's,
A shadow trope out
that would help.
racist.
I mean, I helped. It wasn't. It's not an unfair accusation. It's just. So yeah. Oh, they got. Ooh, and they got some guards going on there. Yeah, like they're expecting some stuff.
Honestly,
it's crazy.
What did you guys get away with stealing? If you don't mind me asking, or acquiring, or however. What?
Well, you mean last time?
The first time you went with your father, yes.
Oh, my dear departed father. Let's see. Oh, lots of good stuff. We got some really fine chain, like chain. I think it was only like iron or steel or something, but it was really, very quite tough. We sold that for a lot, and we stole some rope. Really good quality rope too. I really liked it. We used that and this and that. Got some. Ooh, what was that? That was elk, right? Ooh, elk. Jerky, like dried. Chop it up. You could shave it into like some stew, and it was really lean. And then, I mean, a few bags of water. If they're lying around, and whatever funds made their way our way. I mean, nothing personal. We didn't take anything from anybody that couldn't afford to lose it. I'm not taking food out of starving babies' mouths. That's just me. No, it takes a government to do that. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah. The Queen.
Absolutely.
They'll kill you. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. They'll hunt you down and squeeze you. You owe them a mouthful of spit, and they're just like, spit it out, you bastard! Squish, squish, squish. So, yeah, nothing that anybody couldn't afford to lose. So, yeah. But grudges.
It takes real guts to try to go back.
everybody's making a fuss, it's just yeah, people got to live, right? Yeah, but
The
no,
funny thing is,
I don't know if it was I don't know if it was, it didn't seem like it was us. It's like they had like lots of guards on duty looking every which way. And it's not like we haven't been
what
back.
they looked like?
I'm sorry, what?
Did any of the guards stand out? Weird looking.
Okay, I'm not going to be racist and say all you people look alike to us, but it's variations on a theme. Okay, some are taller, some are shorter. You got the dark fur, you got the light fur, you got the no fur, you got the.
They're gonna claim that all of our party look like other people.
Moon
Well,
thing. And
you don't. You don't. The glowing is a big thing. I mean, the hair.
two of us look like each other.
I mean, it's all variations on a theme. Okay, are you familiar with the concept of outliers? A couple of you are outliers. No offense, but yeah, they're all. There's just a lot of them. And it's not like we haven't been back. I mean, we were here like what, 3 seasons ago? 3 seasons ago. Yeah, we came on through. I mean, they checked our bags going in and coming out, like you would, but they let us in, and yeah, there wasn't anywhere near this many guards. It was like double. It's crazy.
Any common insignias on them or anything like that? Who
all
they're guarding for?
All the white guys, the clean types, just white wraps around the helmets, white tabards and stuff, white shields, just those guys.
Oh,
real
boy.
No sense of humor, none.
That's gonna make things interesting.
Could you define interesting in this context, please?
Oh well, it's never fun to go through entrances and exits, especially when there's a lot of guards around, because they often seem to get really pushy and they always want to take something or keep something, even though you should keep it. There's no reason it can't go into town.
Right.
And then it's a lot easier. We like to come and go. We're out here in more of the wilds. We like to travel. And they want to keep you in or keep you out or both. And it's just a pain. Yes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm with you. Going in, entrances, exits, consent is a thing. It's just, it's Have you been to East Haven recently?
how recent?
Interesting. Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Just wondering. They looked us over like real close before they told us to buzz off. So, just
You
don't know
catch anything like what they were looking for?
No. They just kind of looked at all of us, counting noses. 1, 2, 3, 4. They missed a few. Not gonna lie, they missed a few, but business is business.
They were probably checking to see if they that you bleed or not. And Mike is gonna give Urkthor a side eye.
Bleed. That's strangely specific. Anyway, have you eaten? There's not much. It's just stew, but there's if you got anything to throw in the pot, we'll make a little
we
stone
might
soup.
have.
Can contribute a little bit.
Are
I'm gonna
any
pull out
of you,
2 of my waters in terms of trade
That's very nice
for
of you.
that.
Okay.
I don't drink as much. Might be more useful to you.
When you bring that up, they're like, were you, I mean, it's late, but were you amenable to any, trading?
I could.
Oh.
I have things.
Oh, well, we have things.
What kind
Let's
of
see if they
wares do you
match.
have?
I'm sorry, what?
What kind of wares? Bordering is always an interest of mine.
Oh, Well, let's see. Who's interested in doing some trading? Show of hands.
Potentially me.
Okay, 3. All right. So let's see. Since there's 3 of you, yeah. Arthur,
Actually,
go ahead.
Could you ponder that on a half second? They seem to be getting cagey as we started bringing up East Haven and started asking questions. Could I kind of scrutinize some of their responses on that? See if they weren't letting on any information or holding back anything interesting, or
Sure. Hit me.
potentially looking for the same people the Clean were looking for?
Okay. All right. So choose one question.
What are these people's intentions?
What are these people's intentions? Well, if they nailed your foot to the floor and made you state it, they're trying to get a good deal from you in whatever trade they do. But they don't seem to have any ulterior motives past that. If they have any, it's deeply hidden, and you can get +1 on your any responses that deal with that. So it was just the 3 of you?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm assuming Sidewinder definitely shed some skin when wings were added.
Yeah, but it was more of the thin, like gossamer type snake skin. It wasn't like full bore skin.
That's okay. Can be used for things.
So, Erkthor, go ahead and give me just a it's a luck roll, but you do get a +1 to it since you are paying attention.
Sure. Luck roll would just be a raw 2d6.
Correct.
Okay. Dun dun dun. I'm gonna roll raw 2d6, and then we can add 1 to it afterwards.
Perfect. Okay,
that makes 10.
Awesome. All right. So, I
did have some fine furs I was trying to get rid of.
Wonderful. The masked ones do have a small but wide variety of items. So, Erkthor, as the big winner, was there some kind of thing you were looking for? The other 2, you can
something that would make it more convenient or help me carry more things when traveling. Maybe something that would help secure certain items I'm carrying, or anything to help manage storage.
Beautiful. No, they have like a travel pack. If you can basically imagine kind of a pack saddle for a person. It's got lots of loops. It's got lots of straps and tie down spots, and it's very, very lightweight. You think it's made from some kind of bone, and so it's a little bit flexible here and there. And they show you, oh, look, and they get one of them, because they're using them too to carry a bunch of stuff. It's like, oh, and you can put this here, and you stick a bag in over here, and blah blah blah. Sure, and they will trade you one with all the fixins for some of those furs. They like those furs; they're very pretty. So when you've got that pack on, I'm going to let you carry 2 more weights with the codicil that you have to drop it before you do anything athletic. Okay, this is just a carry from point A to point B. On the other hand, it is easy to just shrug out of it. So you're going.
Yep.
So
that sounds like a wonderful deal.
Awesome, Micah. What sort of thing were you looking for?
I am looking for some oil that can be you can coat weapons in.
Coat weapons in.
Like oil that you could something that you could dip your weapons in and light on fire, and it would stay lit for at least a little period of time. not forever, right? But like if you were preemptively before a fight lighting your sword on fire.
Strangely,
He's looking for Vaseline.
well, or
No, you're thinking of Dahlia and
napalm.
Revan.
Oh, my bad.
Looking for napalm. Actually, yes, they're a little. Wait. You want? Okay.
Either napalm. I'm thinking like either napalm or like maybe like alchemist fire would work, or just like
Okay.
some sort of oily like substance that you can light.
So what they have is a highly rendered animal fat. Okay. Very, very, very sticky. It's somewhere between a cream and a paste. So once you put it on, it's on until you take it off or until you light it on fire. Yeah, they use it as part of like fire lighting. If you've got some kindling and you want to start it quick, you put a little smear on all of them, and then and as soon as you get even a little bit of a spark, the whole thing goes up. So yeah, they'll trade it. What do you have to trade for it?
So I actually have a padlock from ancient times, a little silver like worn padlock. If you guys would be interested in that, it is I know it's not necessarily the most practical now, but it is an ancient artifact, from the times of old.
Does it have a key to go with it?
I can quickly make a key.
I'm sorry, you can what?
Oh, 1 second. And Micah's gonna turn around and like grab a little like ore chunk, not ore, but like little scrap metal out of their bag, and start to like melt it a little bit in front of them.
Do you want it to be this like a silvery type metal so that it matches?
I mean, ideally, like the padlocks. I think you described the pad. I've had this thing since our trial from our very, very first session. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would like it to like somewhat match, like it look like a set, but.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a. What do you think? Oh, is that just a forge?
It would be a forge. Do you want me to do the quick because I'm trying to do it quickly, but I'm not in danger?
I'm going to say it's going to be a sharp roll just because it has to be extremely precise to work in the lock. On the other hand, you have studied the lock, so okay, yeah. Give me a sharp, see how it works.
Did that work? No, it did not. Give me a sec.
You got it. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Talking to themselves.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so yeah, you turn around, you turn back around. Here's a padlock. Here's a key. You'll lock it and unlock it a couple times. With a roll like that, you can have something special about that key. What would you like?
Oh, right, because my stuff gets enhancements. I forgot about that.
Yep.
You can unlock it from. Can I do it so that you can like you don't actually have to put the key in the padlock because it's an old padlock. You can just kind of like tap the padlock with the key. So like it looks like it matches, right?
So
it's now
you're going to imbue this thing with enough magic so that it just all it does is open this lock.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's now like a card reader that they have to unlock doors.
But like you
don't actually have to stick it in; it just swipe it.
Yeah, it keeps the padlock a little bit nicer, but they can still do the motion of unlocking it normally, manually, if they so choose.
They are Yeah. Whoever trades you they give you like 4 uses of it when they see this thing. They were going to give you like 2, and they're like, shoot, here you go. So you've got 4 uses of your flame fire starter goop. All right, finally, Sumac, what were you in the market for?
I'm not exactly sure how I would do this,
Surprise.
but I want something that can generate a good amount of static. Static electricity. Something I can shock things with.
Well, they've recently acquired some fine furs. Look, furs. Ooh, so soft, so fluffy. Fluffier than my baby's butt. Oh, come here, baby. Look, yes, ooh, fluffy. Ooh. And then we have this, and pulls out a rod of amber, about 2 feet long.
Okay.
But what would you expect to pay for this fine rod of amber? But wait, there's more. Zap, and just this fat blue spark jumps from the tip of this thing right onto the tip of Sidewinder's nose.
Ooh.
So wings fluff out a little bit. What do you think?
That'll work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But wait, no, there isn't any more here. So what are you trading for it?
Okay, so at the moment I have to trade a flint and steel because we have the boxes now, just a normal one, functional, and I also have my old hunter's bow.
Oh yeah, they'll trade for the bow. Oh yeah. They'll
In
trade
good
for the bow.
condition. It's seen a lot of wear,
Beautiful. Oh, this is very well taken
but I
care
have the
Ooh.
dread bow now, so
Yes.
that thing's a little
Mercy.
big for them.
Oh no, we'll be just fine. That is that's a bow and a half. Wow. That's ooh, yeah, careful with that thing. Lose a finger.
Mhm.
That's crazy. All right. So trading concluded. Is
What am I gonna call that? The amber shocking rod?
yeah, you can call it an amber rod and a
Okay.
oh, I'm being good. Must be good.
Shocking amber
Don't go
rod.
into the light, Edithan. Okay, so yeah. And so they're bedding down for the night. What's everybody else doing?
Do I do it now or do I do it later? I'll do it now. Is there a moment where I can pull Revan aside to have a private discussion of sorts?
Sure.
In the meantime, I guess Sidewinder and I will take shifts on kind of keeping an eye out, watching things.
Shadow's gonna play with the raccoon people until they're all too tired, and then they're gonna wander their way up into a tree and tuck her in for the night.
Really isn't a
Oh.
tree around here. You're out on the Badlands again. But yeah, there's probably you're probably
Somewhere to
against
perch.
you're probably up against the lee of something. There's a small ledge about 6-8 feet up. You can climb up there easily, and you can kind of fluff your feathers and curl in. And it's nice. There's no wind.
At some point before Shadow goes to bed, they could like talk to them, but after Urkthor and Revan do their thing.
Okay, so Urkthor, Revan, you have the floor. What's up?
Hey, Revan, do you got a moment to talk about something? Something to do with our plans going forward, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page because I couldn't help but notice as we were talking about our plan to do once we get to Mangles, you weren't seeming quite fully on board.
Well, you could say that. To my knowledge, though, we were returning. I assume we have the artifact and we're returning. What about it?
Yes. But At the moment, most of the party is planning to, as we arrive back, in some manner or another, get rid of Mangle. None of us think he's a good person and should be left to his own methods or to whatever he's currently doing, building an army and preparing for whatever he's preparing.
So you guys want to go into a guy who gave us first off a job and a man who has got a standing army, and we're going to do what to him?
We are planning to probably kill him.
Why? Do we have
Well,
any other
first off-
opportunity to return Pilate to his other form?
There is plenty of possibilities. You saw those city ruins, as well as there's plenty of walking and operational androids, as well as we have somebody who's very capable of smithing and, as I gesture towards you, someone who's very attuned with magic. I do trust that, yes, Mangle would probably have the ability to maybe give Pilate a body. But if he does give Pilate a body, I don't think it would be a body Pilate would want, or it might not give Pilate his true freedom, because at least with Mangle, look at Dahlia, look at anyone under Mangle's influence, they don't have control of what they do with their lives. And I don't think that's a body we want to give to Pilate. As well as he's building an army, and that army is going to be set upon some group of people. People don't build armies and then let them lie idle. It's, as I'm sure you're aware, not a good business practice.
Oh, I'm aware. But with that concern, what do you think we can reasonably do to that?
Well, I've seen different types of
Revan
armies.
will actually, while you're discussing that, look over, like, to the side, like something around you is talking to him that's not you. And he'll smile a little bit. Oh, if we're trying to deal with him, I might be able to do something.
Care to tune me in? I am in your presence, and it seems
Oh,
like
sorry.
more conversation.
Granny was just an idea passed my head. He's got his whatever spirits under lock and key, right?
Yes, and so that was actually part of my idea for how we can take down his army. Is, for the most part, if with his type of army, if you take down the commander, typically the rest of the soldiers fall in disarray, because either he's holding them forcefully under his management, and so if he falls, so does his army, or they gain their wills back, in which case most of them don't want to be too hostile anymore. And at least when we took down the one undead android, for lack of a better name, it seemed to be more than happy to let its spirits escape.
No. I've got an idea here, and, well, if I can... Granny and Nixla have been a little, unhappy with me of late, and we might be able to kill two birds with one stone, to say. I'm
more than open to ideas.
To, with their help, craft ability to not just maybe either free those spirits or the smile and light goes into eyes. Maybe just take control of them, even just for a little while. Nixla's got a
you would have
ability to the intent to control others.
Well, that would be
take the reins.
Most impressive indeed. One thing to make sure is, after we seize control from Mangle, I would highly suggest letting them all free by the end of the encounter, because if you have not noticed yet, at least
I don't.
some of our party has...
I don't intend to no, I don't need slaves, but... No.
Good, because some of us are very opposed to as they would call it, the abominations Mangle has created.
That was another question, Heston. You've got one of your spirits, Padanel, from the forest.
I have that, yes.
She's been trailing along with you, and she really, really, really does not like travel. She is first, last, and always a hearth spirit. So she's going to need some TLC from you. What have you been doing to keep her at least not massively unhappy?
Revan's not the best at helping with that specifically. Effectively, the coaxing, his current plan he has set for that is offering of, once we manage to deal with whatever this current job, Delilah needs a safe place to stay, and what's safer than a stable home that has a spirit to protect it?
Right. So yes, that is a promise that you've made, but what are you doing to, again, in the moment, keep her from going a little crazy by traveling?
Not sure. I'm not sure what it wants as appeasement of any form.
Okay, go ahead and give me.
Well-
We'll finish your conversation with Arcthor, and we'll deal with that next. Sorry, go ahead.
But for me to do that, though, Nyx is not particularly happy with me. I would need some way to give her both the power to help do this and to keep her in favor with me.
Well, what can we do to appease Nyx? Nyx, correct? I've actually not. I don't believe we've had a real discussion about your spirits.
Oh no, she's an interesting kind.
Give an excuse.
She's voiced an interest in one of the shinies, as Shadow's been calling it, but the
Oh, so
coin-
riches.
No,
we can-
not riches. Nixla does not care for things of physical value, but that silver coin that Shadow carries great interest.
Bandits on.
I believe the one with a true name attached.
Oh,
I have no intention to
do
use
you
it,
have-
but they've demanded, and I cannot use the spell I already have from them until provided. But with it, they might be able to increase power and help me output a more greater effect.
So, first off, I have no authority on what happens to that coin and who it's given to or who it's passed to, and I hope you understand that if we are going to make any actions with that coin, we need to get multiple other party members' permissions first. And then second off, okay, if we do receive that coin, just to make sure I'm understanding correct, we would give it to you, and then what would you and or Nixla do with that coin?
I do not know. I simply know that Nixla wants to possess it.
So you okay? Only other example I've seen is oftentimes Micah gives gifts unto the Light Queen, and when he does that, he usually burns an artifact or consumes it, which, at least to my knowledge, destroys the artifact. Would Nixa be doing something similar?
That'd be an odd question. I'm not sure. I did previously state that in a session that Nixla was unhappy and wished for a effectively worthy sacrifice of something of power. I believe we stated the coin was the thing I saw when that happened. I'm not sure what the spirit would do with it, though.
Do you have a way of asking Nixla? Because
Yeah, I can
that
just,
greatly
I can
affects
use
whether or not.
ask the spirit.
Because if we could negotiate, I don't see any possibility where we can just consume that coin. Because if I recall correctly, I'm kind of lost in these matters of magic. The coin represents Infinus's true name. And if we destroy the coin, I don't know what that does to Infinus, but I don't think that's good for Infinus, and I don't think we are in any stands whatsoever to do that kind of thing. But if we are just looking to release tying Infinus's true name to that coin, it might actually be a favor to Infinus, freeing him.
I don't
But
intend
all
to
of
do
these
any...
need to be discussed.
I don't intend to do Infamous any favors. I do not care what
Yes.
happens with that spirit. It is rude and violent.
But I definitely think there are those in the party who would care what happens to Infinus.
I have simply given an option. It's an option.
So I would appreciate looking into what Nixla plans to do with the coin once receiving it. And then before we take any actions, actually proceeding with offering the coin to Nixla, we need to get more party members' permissions. Because I think we still have other options for taking down Mangle.
Of course.
All right.
So
Are you at a stopping spot in the conversation, gentle beings?
depends. When, Revan, would you plan to confer with Nixla?
I think I can just do that with Witch Sight. If not, I can do, I think, Conjuring Circle to try to communicate with my spirits.
Let's let's have Micah and Shadow's conversation first.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Well, no, they can finish theirs. It'll make what I had planned with Shadow much funnier.
okay. All right. So give me the specs on Nixla. What type of spirit is it?
Catatonic Power Seeker.
Chthonic Power Seeker. Oh,
Yep.
mercy, sakes alive. Okay.
And it seeks power. It wants to regain its previously lost powers.
Yes. Okay. So, let me get in my headspace here. All right. So, you've got the site, right? Wizard site.
Yes, Witch Sight.
Which is like
Which site? Okay.
So I can casually see and commune with spirits.
Yes. You also, I will give you a free use of prestidigitation if you want to create a space that your
Companion can also see.
well, you can create a space that your spirits would find comfortable, just visually, auditorially.
Yeah,
that
I could go ahead and do that then.
And again, you only have to do that inside the confines of your skull.
Okay. Yep.
So okay, so you're gonna have a bit of a sit down and commune with Nixla. All right. So you are in you're familiar with this space. You've created it a number of times for them. There's a lot of bubbling shadows, hues of green and black and purple and unknown colors from between the stars. And lurking in one of these alcoves of your mind is the spirit. And it exudes a double handful of eyes to look at you, on stalks to study you, mouths open and close, yawning and moaning and snarling.
It's a little more aggravative a form I'm used to for you, but it works.
Speak, oh my master.
I was offering a proposition for you. I know you are not happy with the progression I have given forth, and I have a seeking for new power from you, and with that I wish to present an offering in return. I wish to be able to take control of the spirits and other controls under their belt, if not temporarily. And an offer, I would offer you a coin with the true name of a spirit inscribed.
Yes. Yes, that would fill a void within me. Yes, make that happen. Make that happen, my master, and the things that we shall do. And it bubbles away from your consciousness, and you are back with yourself again. It's going to take a moment for you to recover, so think about it.
Yeah.
And I'll be right back. Micah, what are you doing?
I'd like to preface this.
Are you eating
with
it?
We would like to preface this with I did ask to talk to Shadow about this before all of that.
Yeah, before we had this whole discussion.
Before you had this discussion.
Yep.
Because this is important.
Okay.
And this makes it so much better. 177 gets a hold of the probe. Shadow and I will be off on our own while you guys are having your own discussion and everything.
Okay.
Tap tap, Shadow.
Tweet tweet.
I guess Infinus and I both wanted to talk to you if you have a second. So you've been holding on to Infinus's soul coin for a little bit, and out of everyone in the party, you are obviously the one person that is actually, ironically, most trustworthy with it.
No.
Shadow preens their feathers and sits up a little taller as you fluff their ego.
We talked it over and we thought about it, and we know that you would die with this coin on you before you gave it up. And we're about to go into the belly of the beast with someone who has magic, and we would, if you are comfortable with it, how willing to die for this coin are you?
They think for a little bit, sort of hum, tweet a little bit, and then they, out of 10, they hold up 10 claws. 10 out of 10 claws. This many.
Thinking it over, we think the best way for you to protect that coin and make sure it doesn't get stolen off of you at any point or pulled off your body or anything in the middle of a battle. Will you swallow it?
Shadow takes their knife and scratches out into the dirt. LOL, I did that last night.
Okay.
A momentary setback.
Hey, Revan.
No, it might not be.
Who better to have to swallow a true name coin than someone who, one, can't communicate properly, and two, is willing to die before giving up this coin?
And 3 has a gizzard.
Yeah. That might not be going anywhere.
Nope,
Where the
It
fuck
is
do you
not.
think I put it?
it is not. Oh my God.
I'm very glad I mentioned wanting to talk to Shadow before that conversation, because it made it way better. It made it way better.
Okay, yeah. I think the textbook needs a new line, but this does fall under the heading of inter-party conflict. All right. So, anything
Irony.
else you want to establish along those lines?
Shadow
further-
swallowed it last night. They were, I got too much shit in my bag, so I popped it in my gizzard and I called it a day. I'm gonna say Pilot's Ring is not down there. Pilot's Ring is still under their armor straps where it's tucked in and hidden away.
Right. Has anybody taken?
It tasted like pennies. It tasted like most other shinies that I've swallowed.
Has anybody taken Pilot out to say hello recently?
Shadow might. Shadow would be willing to. Actually, probably already did.
Typically, you'd need.
Yeah, I would need Revan.
You don't think Shadow would pull out the ring and just talk to the ring?
Yeah, I just tweet at the ring for a couple hours every night and go to bed.
Okay, cool.
But no, Shadow might be looking to pull out Pilot soon, but not while near the other shiny seekers.
Okay, good call. All right, so since you got quite a few other people standing guard, the night does pass uneventfully and without any hostilities. At some point, Sumac, Laga joins you briefly. Laga's got a lot of silver in his fur, and so you have an opportunity to shoot the breeze a little bit with another old scouty, sneaky, naturey type. He does give you some current events on 2 locations that you can specify later. Okay, so just write down that you're holding 2 on information about not too distant locations that you can use for bonuses in dealing with those locations, just as an FYI.
Okay.
All right, so the sun is just about to rise. The masked ones are packing things up. They take their leave of you. They're heading southeast. The Children of the Phoenix are having there's a trade fair, like a minor trade fair that they're going to be hosting fairly soon. So they want to hit there so they don't miss it. Berkthor.
Just a hot second before you all leave. I'm gonna pat down all of my pockets, check all my belts, look for my knife, etc. Everything's still there?
Oh, Laga said, "Oh, you dropped this," and hands you back a knife.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you all, and I hope you safe travels. And remember, you were lucky enough and fortunate enough to run into the party of Ukthor the Mighty.
Oh, by the way, Shadow, you boosted that knife right before bed last night, so yeah, smooth. Laga is smooth. All right,
I give Laga a thumbs up,
I nod in recognition
claw up.
of one of the few that is probably pretty close to my level that I've met.
Oh yeah, he's quite good. Oh,
Game.
also,
Knows
Al-
game, or acknowledges anyway.
also, Shadow, when you reach to the place where you normally stash the dagger, there's a rock. It's probably like a really, really grotty amethyst, purple quartz, basically, that has been polished, and it's in the form of like a worry stone. You hold it and you just do this with it, and it's been in use. So Laga gives you a wink
There
as
is
they
a
head on up.
symphony of whistles and clicks as they sounding them off as they head off towards
Yay.
the fair.
Yes, the bird folk equivalent of a 21 gun salute. Huzzah! All right, so they're off. Yeah, you're only a hop, skip, and a jump away from East Haven. What do you do?
Okay.
I'm gonna do one of those holds on info with East Haven. What the hell's going on over there with the
Okay. Go ahead and give
humanoid
me.
Oh,
hive?
100%. They're waiting for us. They're on
Okay.
high alert for us.
Oh, actually, there is a specific move that hits that. This is called Heard You Were Dead. When you return to a civilized place where you caused trouble, roll plus hot, and you get a +1.
We're
to
not
that.
there yet.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, but this that you asked for it, you got it. So give me that +1, please.
You want me to roll hot? Do I get a plus because I've got info already?
Yes, you get the roll hot +1.
That's better than nothing.
7.
I needed the
Oh,
one.
you did need the 1.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, Logon knows somebody who is they were able to get some information. The good folk of East Haven are on the lookout for a group of people. There's a very shiny dwarf. There's one of the bird folk. There's a feminine presenting individual with a very, very large snake. That's not a euphemism. There is a very bright and shiny golem creature, and a very large, muscular, orcish type, very pretty, and a kind of smaller. This one's unusual because they have an artificial arm.
How did they know that? Oh God!
Yeah, so there is an official. It's kind of an APB. It's not a kill on site. It's not an arrest on site. It's persons of interest.
We're on the list. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's again coming straight from the top. Somebody high up in the clean wants to talk to you very, very, very seriously. So so there's some measure of warrant out for you.
I say we avoid the human hive. Or the humanoid
I'm
hive.
in agreeal for that if we can manage to collect a few more rations, maybe through the
Okay.
method of hunting and gathering.
Just a moment. I'm having a parent call. I gotta go run for a second.
Would this be a good time to do a bio break?
Good idea.
What an excellent
Yes.
time to do a bio break, guys.
Awesome. All right. So we will return, folks. Thank you, viewing public. Please, again, interact with us a little bit on the chat and other places.
Get in the comments.
We will, get in the comments, and we will see you in a very short period of time. Cheers. Welcome back, faithful viewer. All right, so thanks for sticking with us on this one. Couple of things. First of all, there is one other piece of information that Sumac came back with in discussing with the masked one scout. Several of the wanted groups known associates have been detained by the authorities.
Oh no, weird puppet dude. Weird mannequin man.
Yes,
Does
several.
this
Oh yeah, no, not the
Or
weird
the
mannequin
Smith.
man,
Kirkland.
or the weird
no.
mannequin man.
Yes. All right. So on the note of Infinus's true name. So Shadow, tell me your thoughts about that.
I mean, Shadow does, in the dead of night when most people are sleeping, Shadow does play with their shinies, examine them, look at them, figuring out what they do, how they work, mostly because they have an organizational theme in their little hidey hole, and it is by purpose of the item, not by how it looks or shape or by anything that makes sense. It's by purpose of the item. So any things that go unlucky go over here, things that go stabby go over there. So kind of figuring out the coin, what exactly do I do with it? Where would I put it?
So give me
And
a
Shadow's 100% been learning how to say that name because they adore Micah and they're not so sure about the fire spirit. They're kind of meh.
Gotcha. So go ahead and give me a sharp roll, please. Okay. It's taken you a while to put the pieces together, but you have had it for like 2 weeks now, roughly?
Yeah, a long time.
Okay. So, you know how when you play a piano, right? If you play a chord very loudly, the other strings in the piano that match those notes will also resonate a little bit. Okay. It's kind of a cool effect. So something that you have been noticing, when you do a particular vocalization, when you put some phonemes and syllables together in a certain way, you notice kind of a resonance. Okay. And again, you've been playing with that because that's what you do. You play with the shinies, see how they work, see if they break, put them back together. So a whistle, a trill, a phoneme, some of your little catchphrases that you've been using, and it's a vowel consonant combination here, and it's ringing. Okay, so basically you've been learning to play your little true name coin like a musical instrument with no instructions. All right, and again, it did take you quite some time, but you think you were able to put all the pieces together in the right format to construct a true name. Have you vocalized this out loud since you've made that determination?
Once
Okay.
in the dead of night while we were
Yes.
in the village with the folk.
Uh-huh.
After Shadow was done playing with everybody, playing with the kids, went off to the side and gave it like a few little tests and then spoke it clearly all the way through.
Okay. You were aware in that moment. As soon as you finished the last syllable, there was sort of again, one of those resonant chimes. This one went through your whole body. Okay. And you sensed, you didn't see this, you sensed it because you weren't anywhere near Micah at the time. Okay. Have a nice little bonfire going, warming your hands up, and then take a big spray bottle of kerosene and go poof right over the flames. It just flared up for a second and then instantly died back down. So, and since then, you've kind of sort of been aware of where Micah is. Just, it's just, it's one of those things. It's like, all right, now touch your nose. You go like this. If Micah was standing there, you're like, oh, touch Micah's nose. You just be a beep right there. It's just, you don't know how you know, but you know. And maybe that's a two-way street.
I was gonna say, would Infinus have felt like maybe not known what was going on, but have felt something when the true name was spoken?
Infinus would not have shared this with Micah.
No, but is it
Infinus,
something that Infinus would?
Yes, Infinus is aware that somebody knows their true name. Okay.
I guess that makes sense.
The only thing you missed, Sumac, is the one piece of information that I didn't get to you before our break was that some of the wanted party known associates in East Haven have been detained by the authorities.
Interesting.
Comfortably detained or uncomfortably detained?
Don't know.
Because it's always possible we could have died out in the sea of dust.
Right. Except for that whole running into town, grabbing anything necessary that wasn't nailed down and bailing out. Yeah, that, in
Not
daylight.
too many people caught us when we did that.
I mean, people talk. Oh, that is the other little bit you get, Sumac. Yeah, the word has spread that your little gang has gone out on the sea of dust and come back with a steely look in your eye and determination in your step. So tongues are wagging. All right, what do you do?
Shadow?
We should avoid East Haven.
Shadow's gonna detach Pilot's ring and gesture to Revan. We should get Pilot's input.
Sure.
Yeah, I do a little whirl and I can
Okay.
pop up Pilot.
Yeah, you don't have to roll for that, Revan. You've done this a number of times. All right, so there's a quiet burst of static as the connections are made, and standing there is a half-decent representation of your friend Pilot. Hello. Could I ask
Hey
the
there.
date? Could I ask the date and time, please? Just trying to keep things straight in my head.
Oh, of course. Gonna look up at the sky. I'm like, it's like early-ish morning on. I don't know how we keep track of days. Let's see.
You know the local reference. It's like the fourth.
Yeah.
The fourth day of the month of the fruit bat or whatever. Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah. That one.
So
I will admit it has been a little while since we've let you out last.
Correct. Are there any mischance or misfortunes to report?
I will, to the best of my ability, give a brief recant of what has happened since last, which I will try very hard to keep it brief.
It's just
understanding
5
how
short
struggling
minutes.
that might be.
It's just 5 short minutes of Urkthor being cool.
He can't keep it down to just 5 minutes.
It may embellish a few of the things I have done to contribute, but it also is a reasonably accurate recant of.
It's not
what we have
embellishment
done
if it's
since-
true.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just, when you're trying to summarize everything, you've got to cut some things out and leave some things in, and I just so happened to leave in most of the impressive things about me and left out most of the not impressive things about me.
Processing. Do you carry this blade now, friend Urkthor?
Yes. Yes. Should I not?
May I see it?
I will. It is just our party around us at the moment. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
I will pull out the blade and display it. This is Maelstrom.
Who is this construct that regards me?
Maelstrom. This is
The voice that Maelstrom is using sounds like the bray of a brass trumpet. It's reminiscent of blood on stone.
Most trumpets are made of brass.
Maelstrom. This is
Sorry,
Pilate.
musician moment.
Do I go to where you work and knock the burgers off the grill? Go ahead. Yes. What?
Pilate is a construct whose soul we have possession of,
I
and
do
we
not
are
like its
currently.
regard. It looks at me like it is superior. Discard it.
Interesting
Nuh-uh.
request. But at the moment, I hate to break it to you, but he does have seniority in the party by a brief period.
I know you, construct. You are a thin and pale shadow of the weapons of yore. Now I can smell the alchemy on you. Regard me not, for you look upon a far greater one than you.
Uh-oh.
Maelstrom, I understand. I don't understand, and that's part of the issue here. But that you are of different bygone years. But by comparison, you two are probably nearer in time than anything of the current era. So, whatever differences you may have had in the past, it may be time to settle, and not by bloodshed or destruction.
Maelstrom goes a very dark metallic gray.
Okay.
Pilate says, friend Urkthor, you might want to put that away for a moment.
I will resheath Maelstrom. Oh boy.
I was briefed on the great weapons. Our friend Urkthor, if you would ask me to tell you what I know of the great weapons.
Please do, Pilate. Please tell me what you know of the great weapons.
Complying. All right. When we were facing off against several of the enemies in the war, we were given some briefings on the great weapons. 17 of them were known, potentially 6 or 7 in the immediate surrounding country. That's one of them. Chaos Blade. Quite powerful. And if memory serves, it was not being held by one of our allies. We were under special orders if any of the great weapons were found to immediately quarantine the items away from mortals that might choose to misuse them. So be very careful, friend Urkthor. You hold. It could not be more dangerous than if you held a handful of adders.
I appreciate the suggestion for caution. such thoughts have crossed my mind since gaining possession. And I appreciate you wanting to bring this up to me, and I encourage you in the future, if you believe to have such information you'd like to share with us again, feel free to share it freely. That was a lot of freeze, but
Understood.
it is valued, and we appreciate it.
Could that be considered in order to speak freely on my own recognizance?
If for now you need it to be an order, you can consider it an order, but I hope that and someday you do not require orders to make such decisions on your own.
Understood. Much better. All right. So Pilate remakes his acquaintance with the rest of you. Ask a few clarifying questions about Urkthor's synopsis. Gains a little clarity. Pretty impressed actually with several of your performances over the last several weeks. And I feel that I am in the company of greatness. So again, I don't know why this task is so important to you, but I feel grateful that it is. Thank you.
Shadow lets out a little trill and hugs his legs as best as they can.
He vocalizes something that translates roughly to like tuna salad hat. Was that? Thank you.
Nuh-oh.
I'll keep just say it again.
They back and forth 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Again, it's half thank you, half tuna salad hat, but he's working on it. All right. So
a Hank hat.
what yes. Mackerel Trilby. Okay, so what do you do?
Well, first off, we're in. Actually, I better ask this of you first. Are you aware of the model of android or robot that Mangle is? Because at this point, we are preparing to confront Mangle, probably to a violent end and not a peaceful one. And any knowledge you may have on the matter would be greatly appreciated.
My information is sadly out of date. We had heard, we did have a few briefings about some shape-shifting and illusion-bearing special forces fielded by the enemy. But too many variables. Where I and my kind were generated, the shovels of the world were generated by the dozen or the 100. My model of construction, there were dozens of us. Some of the generals, some of the great thinkers, some of the strategists, some of the vast minds. There were only one or two. So yes, any assassination and spy model would almost have had to have been a singular crafted thing. So I'm afraid some commonalities: intelligence, ability to work with uncertain situations, adaptable, very, very adaptable. Usually a number of integrated weapons, both ranged and hand to hand. Again, the ability to change features, presentation, height, build. So, and some of them were rumored to be even to be able to mimic on a fundamental level. They breathe, they eat, they bleed, they cry, appear to sleep.
They have a heartbeat.
That would scan. Yes, yes, that would be yes.
Okay. Would there be is there a good way to stop or jam communications from a leader type android to its followers?
Well, for this unit, sound. I would have to give vocal commands to any of my subordinates, and I could receive them from any authorized mortal or created superior.
How would you receive your commands? And has there ever been a tactic to try to stop the commands you received?
Similar to our friend Shadow here, we do have sonic codes that can be burst and received
Citrus, we need to take
very
this camera.
quickly,
This is Citrus's
containing
first game, by the
a
way,
great deal
guys.
of information.
Say hi in the comments.
Again,
Citrus Bird. We need to go into the.
From what I understand, there are some units that had an integrated device whereby they could receive commands at a distance, though those were not common. And two-way communication was even less common, but I'm sorry I don't have better information about this.
That is a wonderful start, and more than we knew, at least. I appreciate it, Pilot. With this being your first time out in a while, actually, anyone else have any discussion or anything you'd like to bring up and talk to Pilot about? I've kind of been, I know it's my nature, but hogging the spotlight a little bit.
Do you know any of the weaknesses of the assassin style versions of your kind?
Weaknesses. Consider. My creation, my original form was difficult to damage, resistant to damage, in fact, integral armor, slightly faster reaction speeds than many mortals, slightly above average intelligence comparatively. If I was creating a spy and assassin, I would make them far more durable within bounds of the technology, far more intelligent, and far more capable. If you were going to invest in something that useful, there wouldn't be any reason, and if there was only one or two of them, there wouldn't be any reason to not add in anything feasible that would help the mission. So expect it to be very fast, very strong, very smart, and again, adaptable. If it's had any time to study you, speak with you, it will take every advantage of any weaknesses that you have.
Uh-oh.
Mental, physical, emotional, or social. So please be prepared. Is this the entity that you were making arrangements with to have a body made for me?
I plan to
It
kill
was,
were-
but they don't seem to trust it enough to do that.
Would you trust it enough to do so?
Oh. I don't know a lot about trust. Much of my trust is hardwired based on my programming. I know that the 6 of you have treated me with gentleness and kindness unlooked for. So it is the balance of the constructs in my mind say that you are to be conditionally trusted under most circumstances. I don't have any data on this individual that would lead me to trust them, and I have much data on the type of created it is that would lead me to be extremely cautious in any interaction. So,
Different question. Do you have any data on contingency plans if one of these were to go rogue?
above my pay grade, friend. Um, who shall serve when the masters are gone, and how? I wish I had. It strikes me that it would be beneficial if I had more information, and I am feeling ineffective in that I do not have better information for you.
Not understanding or not knowing is acceptable. There is often scenarios where I am put into, especially when it comes to the magical or mystical or even sometimes the social, where I don't understand, especially how others feel or how things work. So you have already helped us in heaps and bounds. And so be proud of what you have shared with us, and don't let what you haven't been able to share with us weigh on your heart too heavily.
Understood. Friend Sumac, I will say this entity will not be acting with anything approaching altruism. They will have a reason for doing anything they do, and they will have an agenda that they are following, and it will not be yours necessarily. All right, so what you do?
I still want to kill it.
Right now,
I
it's
am.
like a little piece of mud at Urkthor for his 5 minutes of me, only me.
I gave you guys a chance and an opportunity. I opened up the floor to you all. I don't know what more you can ask from me. I tried. I
Mud.
understand. I have
Mud.
flaws.
Mud.
Flick, flick, flick. All right, so where to from here?
Okay. Next is the discussion of East Haven. We have at least one vote, maybe two votes for avoid it altogether. I don't necessarily like the fact that we don't quite know what they're doing with some of our colleagues in the city, but I'm not totally sure of what to do about all of it. Any
I'm afraid.
ideas?
I'm afraid that if we leave our colleagues, and it's true that our compatriots are and associates are in danger and captured or being held, that us being gone for even longer, prolonged time to immediately deal with, to immediately, Dahlia is with us, go see Mangle or explore the ruined city, might put them in greater danger and harm.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of the Ella Enchanted solution. We chain up Dahlia somewhere and then go fight Mangle. Make her deal with her own curse.
I'm sure Revan would be happy to.
Well, we do know of a ruined. Oh, I was gonna say we do know of a ruined city that no one would bother her.
I don't know
Well,
if that's quite a safe location.
part of me wants to say Mangle has an army. Who does that army best threaten? It's probably the people of East Haven and or Iron Gate. Seeing that, at least to my knowledge, East Haven is less fortified than Iron Gate. If there was to be a war, and strategically speaking, usually you cut off the supply routes of the most fortified place first. So they would probably be coming first to either here in Eastgate or west to Northgate. And so it might be in, depending on what we can say to the cleaners, in their best interest to help us flush out Mangle's facility. With that, we might actually be able to take down multiple birds with one stone and enter into East Haven, share our knowledge, make our deal right, help get our compatriots out of current holding, and be better supplied to go to Mangles with a little more insurance.
Might I... Important thing. I am more inclined to think that the Clean would think similar to I than it would think to the rest of you. They might not see Mangle as a threat, but a potential ally. They are not friends of the Children of the Phoenix, and they might insist on, instead of trying to eliminate him, just simply point them in another direction.
Yes, but those
that is a very good point.
But those that would be willing to entertain the idea of trapping spirits for their own benefit against their will.
Those forges must be destroyed before anything like the Clean gets to see it.
I would agree with Sumac.
That and the Clean is interested in the treasures of the Sea of Dust, and Mangle has access to the treasures of the Sea of Dust. So they would actually probably get along famously.
Until the other has the ambition to conquer them.
Until he wishes to conquer them, which will be after he conquers a few other people and no longer needs of their service. Yes.
But by then, would it be too late?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen it done once or twice. Thank you, Revan. That was a wonderful point.
I'm just acknowledging it because that could have been us.
So,
does Delia have any input on any of this, or is she just watching this go on?
Give me a scrutinize roll there, Shadow. Okay, mark XP, please.
Will
So
do.
now,
I've just got this
Oh.
weird new like itch in my gizzard. I don't know. I can't pay attention very well.
So I'm going to ask you two questions, and you are going to answer honestly. Um, what would you most like Dahlia to do? If there's an action that she could take, what would be ideal as far as Shadow is concerned?
Can you ask me the other question while I think about that one?
Sure. How could Delia get you to protect her at all costs? What would she have to say or do which would make her a priority protection target?
For the first one,
Uh-huh.
Shadow would like more input slash honesty from her. Just more like verbatim what she remembers, what she thinks, what she feels. Any indication she can give us of what Mangle is like overall planning. Because I think we've talked a lot about what her experience is, but not a lot about like what's his overarching goal slash plan here.
Gotcha.
And any insight she can offer there would be nice.
Okay.
As for getting Shadow to protect her, she would have to show that she's willing to lay down her life for mine.
Okay. Okay. Good.
If
Good call.
if she'll value my life, I'll value hers. Right now, Shadow's generally neutral to her. They don't really give a shit. They don't care.
Okay. Delia actually sits down right where she's standing. I've been listening to all of you talk. There's some things you need to know about Mangle. He's really got some great ideas. I mean, really. He's shared with me some of the things that he wants to do. Make the world grow again. Bring the rains regularly. Make it so that the poor and the downtrodden aren't so poor and downtrodden. Equality and liberty and sort of a commonality of all. He would speak for hours about the times before, and I only remember a little of it, but he would talk about how beautiful the world was and the things that he had seen in his travels and the wonders. And there was such a longing in him to make that better. So he does have grand plans, magnificent designs, and he told me that the way to see that through is if someone like him, someone who can think past the next generation, past the next epoch, someone who is timeless and ageless and invested in a brighter future, if someone like that were holding the reins of a group or a nation or the people of a continent, then with someone that wise in charge of things, good things could happen. but he also knows enough that most people won't give up that level of, won't submit to that level of stewardship without force. And he likened it, he said when he was learning the physiology, when they were impressing upon him the physiology of mortals, how we work, how we breathe, how we eat, how we sleep. He said he was an assistant to a midwife, and he assisted in dozens and dozens and dozens of births. And that's what he called it. He said, every breathing soul on this dirt ball came here in blood and pain. But they came here in blood and pain as an act of care, as an act of love, as an act of community. The two parents coming together to create this new life and to bring it forth in pain and blood, and then to clean it and nurture it and hold it and keep it warm and bring forth a life and growth. He likened it to birth. He said we will have to have many pangs in order to achieve the birth of a new civilization. And he sees himself as a midwife to that change.
I'm gonna scrutinize the hell out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Micah would also
Timeless
like to do that.
figure. I'm over here beating chopped liver, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see if she honestly believes this, because she was singing a different tune back when we were over in the burning forest about wanting to be rid of his control. So
Rolling.
yeah, just a moment. Where is the scrutinize? There it is.
Boom. Okay, so one question.
Is this person being honest?
Yes. Every word
Is-
that Dahlia has spoken is, to the best of your knowledge, an accurate recounting of things that Mengel said, to the best of her memory.
Okay.
Am I able to try and proper drop that to see if I get the +2 so they can ask more questions?
Sure, go ahead. Oh, all right.
Nope.
Mark XP.
Oh crap! I forgot I only had one. I would have asked something else. But oh well.
You're struggling, Micah. Something has got Infinis quite agitated, and so your attention is 90% on keeping control of your body at this point. And there's violence brewing on your passenger there. So yes,
Abominations like that destroyed the world.
Sumac, to the best of your knowledge, this was an accurate recounting of something
Okay.
that Dahlia heard.
Pretty words, but abominations like that destroyed this world in the first place.
You think that created destroyed the world?
They were part of it.
Everything was a part of it from all the books I've read. The creators,
magical weapons of immense size.
The magic weapons, yes. But it talks of changing more than I've seen anyone else do.
Talk is cheap.
I don't
Actions are the
think
only
it
thing that
means
Well,
matter.
it's-
to talk.
It is definitely taking actions to potentially back up its talk. The issue I have is how it's going about it. It's harnessing souls, harnessing spirits, and it's enslaving consciousnesses in order to achieve its goals. It's not hurting, it's hurting. And I believe that it is my personal belief that power should be built in one of two ways. Power should be built either by personal expenditures of effort, attempting to get stronger on your own within your own facilities, whether that's working your mind or working your sword or whatever your personal weapon is, or through strength of character. If you want to change the world, you should capture the hearts of the people around you, not their wills. And I can understand that progress can be made through pain, and most progress does become painful. But I worry that while Mangle is willing to push us through the pain, Mangle is not prepared to give us the comforting touch of a mother in this twisted birth of his he sees. If that all makes sense.
I think so. So what do? Where are you headed?
Well, that brings us back to the matter at hand. Do we go into East Haven? In which case, I am mostly against East Haven. And if we are not planning to announce our presence to the clean, I would maintain our party going in, if we have any party to go in, is limited to probably 2 of us. And sadly, those will probably need to be the 2 of us who will be least easily recognized by the guards.
The reason we were going in is to retrieve items, correct? To my knowledge,
Yes,
from what
and
we've
those
heard,
items
are probably in the possession of a smith who is in clean custody. Even if we go in, unless
Probably.
we're confronting
That
the
can
clean,
wait.
we will not achieve anything.
So,
But the items we were seeking, Kirkland wasn't making for us. I don't think.
I was making
pretty
them.
sure Kirkland.
I don't think Kirkland was making the claws or the saddle.
Fairly
that-
certain Kirtland was.
No. There was a leather worker who was doing
There was
that.
a leather worker that
Yeah.
was doing it. That had nothing to do with, like, besides us showing up and buying something.
But if it's like any and all of our associates, they're not going to take people who are just like friends with us. They're going to take anyone we talk to.
So then you go to this other worker and they're going to what? Not report you to the authorities when they see you?
Probably not. Merchant code and all.
I'm the person who trusts people and I know that's a mistake.
Merchant code also looks out for merchants' interests, and if threatened enough, you can get plenty of information from a merchant. I've seen that on a couple occasions too. If we
So what
were
do
to
you
put
do?
this to a vote, I am in favor of collecting what rations we can scavenge from the surrounding wilderness, and we head off towards Mangles without stopping in East Haven. If we are to stop in East Haven, I would suggest either just Shadow goes in, hopefully undetected through Shadow's sneaks in and their own pathways, or Shadow goes in through the back door and I try to go through the front door, because at least to my knowledge, I have the least defining characteristics that the front guards will be looking for.
The problem you have is you tend to tell anyone and everyone about every one of your secrets.
Oh, it makes it so much easier to blend into a crowd when I don't, though. You think I was always so jovial?
Jovial.
No, I
Potato,
could believe
potato.
I could believe Erkthor doesn't know that.
I suppose that's fair. That's the English major coming out.
So what you're saying, Urkthor, is if everybody knows you're a peacock when you put the pretty feathers away and just slouch in, no
Oh,
one's going to notice. Just
yeah.
another dwarf.
Pull out the braids, let the beard grow in maybe for another night, leave some of the more significant belongings with the party, roll around in the dirt some more, slouch a little bit more, pull my chest in, and Clark Kent, new person.
I still don't see why we need to do this, but if you insist on taking the risk, go
I-
ahead.
I also on the side of that's a huge risk to take, and if we do think it is entirely necessary, that is probably the best way of going about it. But I am in the favor of circumnavigating and going towards Mangles.
Do not poke the hive. Items can wait.
Well, we're going to poke a different hive in general, but yes. I'd rather poke one hive than two.
One hive is naturally there. The other is not.
Yup.
So consensus.
Mangle.
I think,
We're skipping
Yeah.
that town.
yep, I think the consensus is to skip through town. Don't go. Don't show up.
Your audio is stuttering quite a bit.
Might it's probably my hold on.
Better now. Dun, 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 dun.
Shadow, what is your thought?
Hmm.
Okay. So, it's
Shadow
still
is-
rather early morning.
Shadow is truly like no one way or the other. Shadow is only
Okay.
motivated by shinies.
Okay.
Then let's. It is still rather early morning. Let's pack up our things, plan chart a large course around East Haven, and try to scrounge up and keep an eye out for any potential fresh rations we can scrounge on our way, and
Good hunt.
make our way towards the sea.
Do that.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. So let's do that two ways. Sumac, you have some hunting ability.
I've got hunt and track, and I can use it for once.
Okay, go ahead and give me a hunt and track roll, please.
Okay. Observing by studying the signs left by passing creatures. So I get a +1 forward to that when I do it.
Mhm.
Hunt and track.
Depending how that goes, I would also. Oh no,
It's a
scratch
10.
that.
We're
No
good.
cropping or dropping.
Beautiful. Okay, so I will give you this. Typically, when you're out hunting and scrounging and whatnot, you can get like 1 day's worth of food and 1 day's worth of water, typically. So go ahead and give me a D4. Actually, give me 2D4.
Dang!
I'm not saying she gets all of it. I'm just saying. Okay, so
Dang!
we'll take the best of the two. You managed to round up 4 uses of rations, and
Okay.
let's do it that way: 4 uses of rations and 3 uses of water. It's probably a cachet that you planted out here 16 months ago. And it's just like, oh yeah, I know where to dig that up. So
Hope everybody
Cool,
likes
hippy groovy.
desiccated jerky.
yes.
Oh.
Um,
Beggars can't be choosers.
so if you're doing a long, well, you've got a couple of options here. A long circuit around East Haven.
Also, I'm giving somebody else the water. I've already got plenty.
Right. Along circuit around East
I'll
Haven.
carry the water.
One of the things is roads make travel a lot easier. So one of the things that crosses your mind, Sumac, is you're about somewhere within the vicinity of this place. So
Okay.
it's an easy day's walk to East Haven. However, if you were to follow the road, there is a small village over here that's held by the Children of the Phoenix, and it's got an actual road that goes into the Sea of Dust. There was a location there. It's now called the Dead Oasis. You remember in your living memory that was an actual factual oasis, even though it wasn't putting out a whole bunch of water. But in your head, it's like, well, if we just do this, it's gonna take X amount of time. If we go the long way around, it's gonna be an easier walk, probably faster, and we'd at least have things like landmarks and roads. The other possibility exists that you might be able to do some stock replenishing in Cinder Circle, but entirely up to you. It's going to be either way. It's going to be about the same time and energy investment. So, since you're probably going to be the trailblazer, what do you suggest the rest of them do?
I don't know. Maybe some raccoon fellows had some suggestions on the best route of avoiding East Haven?
I still have one more hold. What do I know about Cinder Circle?
Okay, give me a recall roll, please. +1.
Then I'm done with my raccoon hold.
Raccoon hold.
God, they were adorable.
Okay. You said recall?
Can I have one?
Okay. Anybody want to prop or drop that?
I'll prop it. One sec.
Okay.
I don't have a -1 to sharp. Why is it giving me a minus?
Because
Oh,
you
the
didn't recall.
recall itself has a
Yeah.
-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So between your +1 and the +1 you got from the most recent information from the masked ones, Cinder Circle. Cinder Circle is a tiny little village. They are very, very good at keeping their heads down and their profiles low. It's a border village. It might have changed hands between the Phoenix folk and the Clean a number of times. It was the big jumping off place into the Sea of Dust when they were trying to get the water shipments out of the oasis. But yeah, it's not, best to your knowledge, first of all, they're not aligned with the Clean, so you won't have to worry about that kind of official scrutiny. The other thing is, though, they're small, so they're not going to have a lot to spare. But yeah, up to you.
I'm thinking that might not be a bad way to head.
Okay. So again, we're going to need a trailblazer.
Beats
We're going to
bushwhacking.
yes, trailblazer. We're going to need a scout, and we're going to need a quartermaster. From here to Cinder Circle is going to be, again, about 2 days on the road.
Oh, I could scout
Oh,
again.
Okay.
Presuming
So-
I'm trailblazing.
So Trailblazer, go ahead and hit me. Give me a travel
Craft
reckless waste.
dunes.
Okay. Again, following the road, everything's cool there. So again, currently it's a 2-day trip. Urkthor, give me a quartermaster roll, please. Travel trackless waste.
Yep. Nope, I have lost it.
Oh,
Hey,
perfect.
consistency.
Consistency is the bugbear of little minds. And okay, so all right, you do actually have to take an extra day's worth of food and rations, because as you're heading down, your Doty Scout Shadow spotted a clean foot patrol headed your way. So, but spotted them in enough time that you were able to avoid them. However, you did have to circle way around, and they were like, "Oh, they're camping in the spot that we wanted to camp." Gosh darn it. Okay. So if everybody could burn 3 food and 3 water, but you make it to Cinder Circle without other issue. Cinder Circle is, again, tiny little village, wide spot in the road. It's the buildings are made of fired adobe, so very, very thick, wide blocks of clay heavy brick, and they make the walls thick, like 2-3 feet thick. Really, really good for keeping the heat out, keeping the wind out, keeping the dust out, etc. Tiny little windows with shutters, exterior and interior. Yeah, it's not a very not a very welcoming looking place. They do have a surrounding area that's where they're raising crops. Mostly it's these really, really water sipping. They look like a collection of sticks. If you can just it's got a branch with a bunch of branches off of it, with a bunch of branches off of that, with a bunch fractally, and they're just each these perfect straw-like sticks that just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It has no leaves at all, but the bark is a bright green. And you've heard of it. The locals call it Phoenix tea. You got to boil the hell out of it, but you can eat the roots and stuff. And again, it'll just soak moisture anywhere. So there's fields of this green stuff that people are, the big hats and moving slow and clipping off pieces and filling baskets and whatnot. So you do get a few cautious looks. There is all the buildings are around a main like a bonfire place. This is the Cinder Circle. It's full of signs of many, 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 many fires. There's a bunch of there's like a bunch of cook steaks set up around it. Looks like a community thing. They start the fire. Everybody cooks. Everybody eats. Everybody goes to bed. And you get there just before dark. So there's a few watchers and a couple of kids who wave and keep an eye on you. You standing there for a hot minute when the elders come out. There's 3 of them. 2. Are we done? Are we done? Are we gonna have to play?
Pardon? Excuse us?
Whack-a-mole, the party version. So the
Just
3 elders
greeting the
come out.
locals.
The 3 elders are basically 2 old grandmas and 1 kind of skinny uncle, and basically one just says to call her granny. The other one just goes, my name's this, but I go by auntie, and the uncle
so kind of you.
he goes by Helm. So granny, auntie, and Helm. Welcome, travelers. We don't often see any sizable groups here, but please be welcome. Let's get you some shade. and you go in through a double set of double doors, kind of an airlocky type thing. The building is fairly massive until you get inside of it and realize it's got really, really, really thick walls. So it's a hell of a lot smaller than you expected. But they roll out some mats. They let you sit down. Again, they pass around the little things of water and the little crackers, and everybody has some. And they sit in the shade. The tiny little windows are open, so it's this beautiful coolness that's just there's minimal amounts of dust. You can feel a little moisture in the air. They've even got this little basin that with this barely damp towel that they pass around so you can wipe off the worst of the dust. When it gets too manky, they give you a different one. So, but anyway, so you're vaguely refreshed. So, travelers, how can Cinder Circle assist you?
We're just traveling through. Probably, if we would be able to resupply, that'd be fantastic. We're heading up north, probably through the Sea of Dust, slightly.
Oh, well, that's terribly dangerous.
We have adequate gear to handle the sea. Just
Excellent. Just food and water then.
if you may,
That would be
if you
most appreciated.
in exchange, I can offer services if I have a slight ability to heal. If you have any sick or injured, I can help with, or I can also do the cleansing of some food and water if you have any spoilage.
I am also able to do some minor repairs or some basic crafting if you need those services as well.
Okay. Well, if one of the two of you wants to give me a hot roll, please.
Oh yeah.
With Revan, I'll proper drop him because I have. Never
Aw,
mind.
he's
He doesn't
pretty.
need that. I was like, I have healing help.
Revan
He's a
has
pretty face.
3 and hot.
Yes. And
Not for
Revan-
any of his abilities, just because he knows how to talk.
Yes. Revan also has decades and generations of tradesfolk
Human.
in his lineage, so he knows how to make a deal.
Excuse me.
So yes, they are very, very, very interested in any and all of your services. You are quickly set to work. Once they understand that Micah can repair just about anything metallic, they start bringing out things. So you repair a lot of hinges, you repair a lot of this and that, you make a double handful of nails, blah, 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 some screws, you fix that one old thing, there's a hinge on that thing that needs to be done, sharpen an assload of knives, and so on. Revan, you do some healing, and again, they're fairly slobberingly grateful. They're a little unsure as to whether or not you can handle some of their spoilage. Normally they get rid of that stuff real quick or it goes in as fertilizer.
I have
but
the spell that yeah. It's
When
spicy
you-
now, but
Yeah. When you spark that up, they're like, oh, that's really, really, really handy. Okay. So food and water, you can replenish.
water so spicy?
it's Granny's
Ooh.
special.
Why is it
Mayonnaise
spicy?
It's
so
technically
spicy.
unholy. So if anyone's got a problem with consuming unholy food or water, yeah.
No, the worst part about it is when you eat it, you want more.
Ah,
Everything gains the characteristics of a salt and pepper and vinegar potato chip. It's like, these are awful. I hate
I
these.
want another.
Why am I?
More.
You know
How many
those sugar
good
cookies
old
at the
grandma's
store
cooking.
that are
Yeah.
objectively bad, but you can't
just-
stop eating them?
I hate them. I hate them
Yes.
so.
Oh,
I hate them
I
so.
like
They're so
salt and
amazing.
pepper
Or
chips.
donut holes.
No.
You know, you
They're objectively bad.
Yeah,
However,
imagine-
that's what makes them good.
Imagine you have like a KFC bucket full of donut holes, and you're just like, not paying attention. They're halfway gone. Anyway, so yeah, that's that kind of thing. All right, so they're very, very pleased with you. Food and water, that's a gimme. You can you can replenish anything that you had. So that's all good. They, Helm has got his hat in his hands and he's just like, well, shucks, folks, we kind of feel like we still kind of owe you something. Is there anything else you could use?
Actually, this seems like a rather nice space.
Ooh,
Revan, do you want to potentially give one of your companions a place to rest?
that would actually be a good option.
Oh,
This would be a pretty good spot. It's. I'm assuming it's a big communal home area.
yes, a community hearth, even not just a hearth. It's a
Yeah.
community hearth.
I will. If
Oh, all right.
they would love that.
Yes.
Because actually, this is a bigger favor to us than to you, I swear.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with the spirit. I'm a traveler.
I mean, you could always give it to Kirkland.
I don't
As
think
well.
it wants to be a forge fire, though. This would. Then again, with Revan, it was either going to end up in some bar or, and I don't think it would have loved that either.
Probably not.
Okay. Which one of your spirits, Revan, would be amenable to learning a new spell to teach you?
Just which ones don't have the most spells on them, or
Just again, this is going to be a hearthy, warm fuzzies. I think this might be Sheepus. I think
this might be.
Sheepsis.
Sheepsis is also, I think, right now my strongest spirit, just because high pact rolls.
Gotcha. Okay, so
And easier to keep happy.
Sheepsis and Padanel put their heads together, and Sheepsis teaches you a new spell. It is called Homely Hearth.
Wow,
It is
the
a-
one Patamel was offering me temporarily.
Yes. She's very, very pleased with the arrangements here. It's an ongoing spell. You cast it during Make Camp, and you either rest well, so everybody gets a +1 bolster. You either have you have a peaceful night, so no one needs to take watch, or everyone heals an additional 1d6 hit points. And you choose that at the time of casting. So, yay, new spell. All right, now Auntie is the local wine aunt / maybe would have been the wise woman.
Who knows something? She might know some magic.
Yes. So you make introductions with Padanel to Auntie. They're in cahoots almost instantly. She's got all the earmarks of like nurse, midwife, that sort of thing, and they're getting along famously. All right. So now Helm is like, we don't. Is there anything we can do for you? Just
Anyone else like to speak up first? If not, I'm taking my shot, and you guys know what that means.
Oh no!
I'd like you to inscribe my
No.
story in your walls.
You didn't
First
do
off-
anything, Uthor. You didn't do anything here.
We are the party of Ukthor the Mighty.
No, we're not.
I would
No,
like to
I
remember
don't
the
want to
Do not
generosity
listen
that
to
we
this man.
offered you.
He didn't do anything.
Shadow finds a handful of mud and
I
slaps it into
supplied
his mouth.
ideas and suggestions.
We're also sponsored
and
like Kirkland Blacksmithing.
Our
We
store
would
finds out
appreciate
very
it.
quickly.
That if this location could always be a safe harborage for us, in any time
Yes.
of need we might have, just remember the kindness we've given to you, and if we need it and receive it, it would be very appreciative.
We
I was gonna get there, but
we so pledge. Yes. Also, give me. Are you spending the night?
I believe so.
Okay.
Might as well.
Okay. They make you very comfortable little places to sack out under cover of a good sturdy walls and a good sturdy roof. First thing in the morning, they serve you a nice breakfast. I mean, it's tasty. It's just like, it's like flat cakes and a little bit of honey and this coffee tea stuff that you could just stand a spoon up in. It's sinfully black.
Over.
It is so sweet, and it is just, and it just jolt awake. They also have some wraps for you. These are like protective coverings. If you can imagine, like a dust mask with a.
Oh, and half a second.
Yo,
There is something I wanted to do overnight.
what's that?
Overnight, I would have preferred a chance to scrutinize Dahlia after she went to bed, as well as the area around her as she woke up, to see if anything funny seemed to happen over the night, because she has once informed us before that sometimes when she is no longer focused, she loses controls of her facilities, and I want to see if there was any sign that I could pick up that happened over this last night.
Give me a roll.
You want me to scrutinize for it, or something
Yes.
else?
Scrutinize
works.
Observe, since you're not interacting with her. Observe would be
Okay.
better.
Okay, that's still cool. We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
So one question.
This is a great list to choose from. Somebody did a really good job writing this list.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you.
Shoot.
Can I just make a
Could
small...
I have
sorry.
enlisted the support of Sumac to potentially
could
proper drop this roll?
I could proper drop it.
Okay,
I'm-
go for it.
Constantly suspicious of that lady
Sumac,
and
yeah.
anything involved with the robot.
Yeah,
So
I'd like to pull Sumac into this one to potentially proper drop it.
Okay.
okay, I do the proper drop.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Wow, I'm having a hard time navigating this character sheet today.
What wrong?
Thought it was around
you're
here.
fine.
There it is. Input value Urkthor.
Okay,
Ouch.
mark experience.
How is the
yeah,
blood calculated in this?
it's
Because it's roll
you
plus blood.
Yeah, how many blood do you have with Urkthor? Just one?
I have. I have one
two
with
at the moment.
Urkthor and one with Maelstrom, though I don't think the Maelstrom
That's
counts.
interesting.
So yeah, just be
Also,
one.
Revan, what effect of the homely hearth did you want tonight, if anything?
The +1.
The bolster or the?
Yeah, the bolster.
Okay.
So is that we all get a +1 we can use whenever we want?
Yes. So, Sumac, go ahead and mark XP anyway.
Just so you know, we are at a 10-minute mark.
I'm still
Yeah.
on the upper range of my threshold, so I'm still good, right?
Yes, and you can use a +1 preparation to make that a 10 if you want it.
I would like this to be a 10. Yes,
Okay,
please.
beautiful. So you got 3 questions now.
Can I ask one of them, hear the results of one of them, and then decide what the next one is?
Of course.
Sweet. So let's start with, what's my enemy's true position?
So you're watching Dahlia sleep, and she's snuggled up against Revan with an arm protectively around him, and just stretches a little bit and snuggles. But you see her eye is open. You wouldn't have caught it if the light wasn't just right. Her eye is open just a little, and she's watching you watch her.
Is it her watching me? Well, actually, that could be a. Is there something else on the list I could ask to check that? Oh, there we go. Who's really in control here?
Hmm.
What really got your attention and let you notice that her eye was open and tracking you was her expression. Okay. If somebody's asleep, there's a certain slackness to the expression, oh, don't wake Shadow. They're such an angel when they're sleeping, that kind of a thing. And Dahlia's face was not slack. It was like a mask. It was affectless but tense somehow. Just lying there, and you get the impression that whatever's looking out those eyes is not the Dahlia that you normally talk to.
Hmm.
Okay.
Third question?
Yes.
I try not to be a murder hobo here, but sometimes I just want to kill it and be done with it.
Don't tempt me more, please.
No.
I- We'll go with what should I be looking out for? I think I know the answer to this one, but
It's pretty warm in here. So, and Dahlia is one of these who doesn't like to wear a lot of clothes anyway. But you're watching, and again, she's the big spoon tonight, and again, the affectless and the motionless face is very disconcerting. And you're watching, you're just watching. And you can see the pulse in her throat. It wasn't there when you started watching.
Its heart beats when it wants to. My snake warned me. I still want to kill it.
All right. So, since we're rapidly
I
winding
think that's
to
a great
close,
place to end for the night.
Isn't it? Okay, one other thing, so I don't forget.
Yeah.
One other thing. Overnight, some of the aunties and uncles and cousins were searching through all of their old stuff to see if there was anything else that they could gift you
Is there a
with.
cool shot for me?
Basically, it's a bunch of goggles, like dust goggles and head wraps and stuff. Basically, it's extra protective gear for the Sea of Dust. So if anybody wants to pick up some of that as an added measure of protection, it's a gift freely given. All right.
I'll pick up some.
So end of session, folks. Tee-hee-hee. You're so close. You're so close. I can taste it. I can taste the end of the arc.
Oh my god, are we ending early / on time for once?
For once.
Hold on.
For once.
Hold on.
I haven't had a pun yet. All right. So, okay. So
Oh, you still got time.
I got a question for you, Dev. If you've got a writing desk, a little writing desk that you can pick up and carry around with you, if you load it up with paper and pens and ink and all that, would that be portable stationery?
I really want you to stop making puns at me. It hurts my soul.
Yay! Yay.
That's your one.
That's
You're
another
done.
little.
If
another
there's a
little-
second one, I'm writing you up for an HR violation.
Yes,
I
death by
will write you up.
10,000 cuts. Yes. Paper cuts on your face. All right, so end of session. First of all, check your motivations. Check your motivations. Are you doing the things that you say you want to be doing? And did you hit your motivation goals? I got one.
I want to, but people
I
are not
think I
letting
showed
me.
off.
I want to kill lots of unnatural things.
Oh no,
Uh,
no, Urkthor. Yeah, no, you got to tell everybody just how. Well, that's enough about me. Now you talk about me. Well, that's enough about me. Now let's talk about my career. It's just like stop, that kind of a thing. Yeah, so you got a chance to do that. Yeah, the masked ones were very, very impressed. You could tell.
I did random magic on peoples. I gave them food. I didn't even ask for anything, and they're like, "Here, take shit."
Awesome. Shadow.
I think I caused a little bit of trouble by taking an unnecessary risk and not warning anybody about the
Yes.
masked ones.
Yes, that could have ended
And
very,
also
very badly.
swallowing the
Yes.
coin
Yes.
might have been
The double whammy. Yes. Sumek.
Well, I keep wanting to kill unnatural things, but people are not letting me, and
Gotcha.
I have
Well,
a
maybe-
good feeling we'll get there
I'll-
tomorrow. Next
I'll-
week, 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what, Sumek. If theoretically sometime in the near future you were to destroy 2 or 3 or 12 or 74 unnatural things, I might give you an extra 2 or 3 XP
Alright.
for that. If it was like a
73 sounds good.
big deal.
Kill it all.
Micah.
Yeah, I hit it. I gave a service freely given.
Perfect.
It,
Okay.
it says exchange a sacrifice, but does time count as a sacrifice in this case? Okay.
Sure. Yeah, you were giving of yourself time selflessly. Yes, I like that. All right. So, check your keys. Did anybody trip your keys this time around?
Those raccoons are pretty friendly.
Were you very trusting with your new folk?
Shadow did clicky noises to the random strangers, and I immediately saw a fire with people at it, and I'm like, yeah, these guys are great.
Gotcha. Yes, Shadow, you hit yours. You were drawn as a moth to the flame of the pretty shinies. So
That's for my motivation,
I-
though. My actual keys tell me about something shiny so I can steal it. I did not steal anything
you
today.
didn't steal anything. So okay,
Nope.
nothing there.
I was a good boy today.
Okay, what else?
Mine is
most-
curiosity. Try to keep me on track so I can go herring off after a mystery.
Okay.
I
Didn't really happen. Anybody else?
don't know. I heard about the
I have a question about
Cinder Circle and
shadows.
wanted to go that way, but that was about it.
That's true,
Yeah,
but
I have
it wasn't unwisely. What up?
It wasn't a mystery.
For shadows, they didn't steal anything per se. They did steal away Revan's chance at that coin.
My chance
So
is not
they
over.
do it all unknowingly.
My chance is not over. I can still get that coin.
Yes, swallowing the coin is definitely in the spirit of this is my shiny because I say it is.
I don't think
though-
I deserve a point for it. I don't
Okay.
think I deserve an
Well,
extra
that's
point
fair.
for it.
Well, that's fair. Thank you for lobbying for your friends and cared for ones there, Ren. All right, next up, the big three. Did you learn anything new about the nature of the world? Yeah, a couple
Yes.
things. Yeah, a couple things. 2, did you defeat a noteworthy adversary?
Mm,
Not
No.
currently.
no.
Did you recover a noteworthy item or treasure? Okay.
Just
We
mundane
get the
things.
cute little tinder boxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
And cinder boxes.
Uh,
Cinder boxes, technically.
Not super
we-
noteworthy.
Yeah, but we didn't really recover. They were giving it to us. I'm not sure that counts.
Right.
Revan acquired Padanel's blessing.
That was. Oh, yes, you did recover a new spell. That is that is definitely a noteworthy thing.
Yeah, but it's not a group thing. That's more of a Revan.
We all
Yeah.
share the
Well,
benefits. I immediately reap the benefits.
Wait. But when you recovered Maelstrom, only Urkthor got to hang on to the shiny, but everybody, it's a group reward. You recovered something noteworthy. A new spell, especially a non-standard spell that you can't get anywhere else, counts as that. So yes, everybody mark XP for that. And then we get down to gold stars.
Bloods?
What about blood?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do blood. My bad. Anybody resolve blood? Anybody have new or different attitudes about your compatriots? Shadow.
I was going to add one for Delia. You are growing on me like a fungus. I don't appreciate it.
Okay.
I got it. Urkthor.
I have one for Delia too. Delia question mark.
Okay.
Delia is not Delia, or Delia has something non-human living inside of her, and it needs to be confronted.
Okay. How about I'm growing to like Delia, but I don't like the thing that's inside her.
I wouldn't give Delia that much credit, but
Okay.
Delia is
I wouldn't say that about Revan.
not
I
at
don't know.
fault.
Sumac is this close to going
Delia
on a
is not
crusade, man.
at fault,
So
and I
If
don't
you-
want to harm an innocent.
yes.
If you asked Micah to join your crusade, he would in a heartbeat. I have one for Shadow that's changed. One, it was as my true name. I can let this bird out of my sight. That is actually being changed to I can trust this bird with my true name, or with Infinite's true name.
You're echoing again, but yes. Okay. You can trust Shadow with the true name. That is a good change. Mark XP. Revan, you got any changes?
Nope.
Okay. Urkthor, both you and Shadow mark XP for your new bonds or new blood with Delia. Sumac, any changes?
I don't know. Delia is designated as a threat in my head now,
Okay.
and has been for a little bit.
Okay. You can actually mark that one down. Delia.
That and
Technically,
Revan's
haven't
ignorance
shared that
borders
yet,
on threatening.
Okay. Write that one down too. I like it. Mark XP. Everybody else? Revan, no changes?
I mean, I could make another one of spiteful against the Sumac.
How many do you have on Sumac currently?
2.
but
None
What
of them
are
are
they?
resolving. Sumac is not improving my view of them.
what would have spurred
Same
the
reason
change?
on the other side. You have no business being
What
out
would have
here, and I've
spurred
guided you
the
before, and you still owe me
change?
for it.
Specifically, Sumac blaming the calamity on things that they are claiming. Specifically, the spitefulness against things that are unnatural, regardless of the intent.
Gotcha.
Sumac is suspicious of the things they don't understand.
That's a good one. Mark it down. Mark it down.
Understand it
Oh,
probably a lot more than you do.
by the
Not
way,
from what I
folks.
see.
By the way, folks, your maximum number of blood that you can have with somebody, or at least gain the benefit from, is 3. So you can have as many as you want, but only 3 per person will give you a benefit. So everybody, go ahead.
I was gonna say I already have my XP from my blood resolving from Shadow, but everyone else talked about their feelings and their blood updates with Delia. The Micah's now new one with Delia for Delia is just like half Micah, half Infinite. It just needs to die. That is it.
I have not yet shared the information I have acquired.
Okay, so
Micah
last
didn't
session we
like-
had when we were still with the horse people, Sidewinder was like, this thing has a heartbeat when it wants to. That was enough for me to kill it.
True.
Right there.
Yeah.
Micah
Okay,
wanted to
okay.
murder Delia for a long time.
Okay.
For what?
Sumac, Yeah, something walking around having a heartbeat when it wants to. You do know some hibernating animals who can slow that down to the point where they could like be
Very
unconscious for
true.
2.5 weeks. But
Half orcs are not hibernating animals.
correct currently that you know of. That you know of. All right, so gold stars.
Oh.
Who gets some gold stars today? Let's go around the horn here. Urkthor, who gets your gold star for the evening? Pass or play?
Pass.
Shadow, who gets your gold star for
Whoa.
the evening? Pass or play?
I'm gonna give it to. Oh shoot! I'm gonna give it to Revan. For some more development on like you can get a little bit creepier than we thought with the whole I could just take control of the spirits bullshit. You get a little creepier than we thought, a little more depth to good old friendly, silly little guy. So gold star.
Yeah, he
Gold
loves
star.
people who aren't his friends.
Beautiful. Revan, pass or play?
I just have the image of Ukthor rolling around in the dirt. For the sole comment of Ukthor deciding that if he really wants to, if he tries really hard, and like he'll have to resist every time people ask, "Hey, what's your name, stranger?" And he'll have to like resist the urge to preach to the mountains of, "I am Ukthor the Mighty." Instead, he rolls in some dirt and pretends to be a normal dwarf for once.
So that sounds like a gold star to me. Sumac, pass or play?
I think I'll give it to Shadow.
Nice. Why
I
for?
found it interesting, and then the whole coin thing is going to make life very funny down the
Yeah.
road.
Yes, it is. All right. So, Micah, pass or play?
I gotta give it to Urkthor for setting up the perfect. Hey, I want to talk to Revan about this coin, and not knowing that I have to like I want to Shadow about this coin.
Nice. All right. Urkthor, back to you, boss.
Okay. I'll send one over to Micah because wonderful irony of circumstance.
Awesome.
It's
Awesome.
beautiful.
Awesome. Okay. And myself as a game master, I had some good stuff happen tonight. Some things I didn't expect and plan on. Looking at you, gizzard person. So this is
Nuh-uh.
nuh-uh. Yeah, huh. Cha.
This is
as
when
if,
this is when Owen
cover.
says this is the hardest decision he's had to
Ever.
make.
No, I'm just saying, at this point, just to
Bingo.
be just a little on the mercenary side, is anybody like skating real close to breaking level? Because you are technically in a safe place right now.
I may have just hit it.
Technically.
Well,
I broke level. I'm good.
Anybody close?
I'm well past.
I have
I only needed
broken
one.
into 8.
Awesome. So
Oh.
I'm going to give this one. I'm going to give this one to. Boy, see, I had somebody chosen, and then everybody was talking about it.
Don't be fair. Go with
I
your
wanna
heart.
be fair. That's
No, go with your
Don't
heart.
be
Don't
nice.
be fair.
Be mean.
Okay.
Oh, and stay
I'm
in line
giving
so I can mark down bingo.
I'm going to give it to Revan because Revan is actually starting to show us their dark side capacity
Is
here.
it a dark side?
Well, it's
Just
it's-
because it's contrary to many members of the party does not instantly make it dark.
but the whole
He's creating conflict.
we could steal their souls and use it to power my abilities, again, little old me. So yeah, sweet little Revan isn't as sweet as we used to think.
Revan's about to go through his emo phase.
My bloods have not
he's
changed.
He's a
Kind of expected as much.
Yes. All right. So excellent. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. By the way, I need everybody to stick around because I got some questions for y'all when we get offline. If you broke level, feel free to make that happen between now and next time. Hey, faithful viewer, thank you so much for being here, watching, the gang burn stuff and blow things up, at least metaphorically speaking. Look for us next time. We'll be advertising our next one, and also tune in for the other No Theoretical Bias live streams. Not just because you'll see my bright and shining face, but because we have a couple of crews doing some wonderful, wonderful new things. Got some great exploration experiences going on with the Brass Horizon crew, and the Fortress of Bone crew is learning things they never wanted to know about the necropolis. So be there or be oblong. Thank you so much for being here. We deeply, deeply appreciate you. Please interact as much as you can with our channel. Tell all your friends. We love you. Buy bonds. Don't take any wooden rhetoric. And see you on the flip side. Cheers. Game on.